The subject of a St. George Police Silver Alert found dead. 2 arrested on drug and stolen vehicle charges, and Utah's 100 Deadliest Days sees a record-breaking month.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Christy Lingenheim. A body discovered near Black Ridge Drive in St. George on Wednesday was identified as 61-year-old Elliot D. Hill, the subject of a recent Silver Alert. We'll go to Eric Gould for the full story.
St. George police responded to a call about the discovery of a body next to Black Ridge Drive on Wednesday afternoon. St. George police officer Tiffany Mitchell confirmed to St. George News that indeed a body was found by officers in the trees near the intersection of Black Ridge Drive and 1600 South. A statement by police on social media later confirmed that the deceased was identified as Elliot D. Hill, 61, of St. George. Hill had been the subject of a Silver Alert last Thursday.
Thanks, Eric. 2 people were arrested Sunday in Cedar City after being pulled over in a stolen vehicle. 54-year-old Seth Avery Dean and 50-year-old Sandra Cole were taken into custody when Utah Highway Patrol discovered meth and drug paraphernalia in a car reported to be stolen from Kansas, according to court records. Dean, the driver, faces multiple charges, including possession of a stolen vehicle and DUI, while Cole also faces felony drug charges. Utah's 100 Deadliest Days of summer ended with 101 traffic fatalities, 20 more than last year, according to a report from Utah Highway Patrol. July was the deadliest month on record, with 49 lives lost in 42 crashes. Pedestrian deaths also spiked, with 14 fatalities compared to 4 last year. Authorities at the Utah Department of Public Safety and the Utah Department of Transportation are urging drivers to follow basic safety measures, like wearing seatbelts and obeying speed limits, to help reduce these tragic numbers. Now we'll head over to Sheldon and Mary for this weekend's adventure guide.
That's right, so many great events happening this weekend.
Sheldon, I understand Ivans is having their Heritage Days.
Oh, Ivans has got Heritage Days. You gotta get to Ivans. They're celebrating the early pioneers that settled Ivans.
Some pie baking?
Pie baking, a parade, food, vendors, fun for the whole family. And of course, if you want a big pool party and you're 21 and older, you get down to the Casablanca.
Casapalooza.
Casapalooza, 2 nights in a row. 2 nights of Casapalooza, you get down to the Casablanca. And for a full list of events, see our TGIF listing on stgeorgenews.com.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sheldon and Mary. Zion's National Park has introduced the nation's first all-electric shuttle bus fleet, paving the way for quieter, zero-emission transportation in the national parks. Here's Stephanie DeGraw for more on this story.
Zion National Park has the country's first all-electric shuttle bus fleet in a national park in America. Park staff joined national leaders and other dignitaries to celebrate on Wednesday. These battery electric buses replace the propane-powered shuttles that have served the park since 2000. The National Park Service Director, Chuck Sams, had this to say.
Bringing and electrifying our mass transportation system here in Zion National Park are extremely important. It's going to set the foundational work of how we wish to do this across the service. More importantly, these buses give zero emissions and are very, very quiet. As we can hear the wind just standing here today and to hear the different types of animals that are in the park, it's extremely important that these buses will give a unique experience to our American visitors and our international visitors.
Thanks, Stephanie. Southern Utah artist Reese Thompson is defying traditional norms with his quirky and whimsical creations, aiming to captivate the imagination. We'll go to Jesse Bang for more details on this local artist.
Artist Reese Thompson remembers drawing at the age of 3, and he hasn't stopped since. Over the years, he's created artwork and designs for magazines, hospitals, video games, and more.
She had cystic fibrosis, and she was the spokesperson for the hospital, and she died at 16, and they wanted a portrait of her, so I did that.
He hopes his work inspires wonder and mystery, and many of his creations start out as scribbles that morph into creatures as they develop.
This was for a video game.
Everything he creates is drawn and painted by hand.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Christy Lingenheim with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.